Story time. Okay, so there's this really beautiful looking guy, and he's super smart, wants to be a doctor, wants to save lives. More about that later. But he can't. He can't be a doctor because his mom, who's like this tiger mom, tyrant, super wealthy billionaire, is like, no, you can't. I don't want you to be a doctor. I want you to help run the family business because obviously she divorced her husband and there's really nobody else to take care of the business, when she passes away. So he's there listening to his mom. It's very hard not to listen to her. And he's running the business. And this business, I guess it's more like they're like a huge dessert company. And they have many locations all over the world. But this one location that he's usually at, the headquarters, about like a block next to it is one of their shops, like one of their dessert shops. And there's a girl. There's a girl that works there. We'll call her Tia. And Tia, your basic poor girl, owes a lot of like student debt, doesn't come from a wealthy family, like polar opposites. She's gorgeous. But she never really goes on dates because she's always too busy working, making that money. But from elementary, she's always had this friend. Her friend's name is Penny, short for Penelope. And this friend of hers is also very, very wealthy. But they've been friends ever since they were in like elementary school. Penny and Tia have always been really great friends, and Penny is a really sweet girl. Like, she knows she has a lot of money that she didn't work for. She's kind of like this Nepo baby. And she's always offered Tia, like money to go on vacations together, just money to help support her. She's actually even offered to pay off all of her student debt loans because that to her is just like not buying two purses for like a month, right? So they've always been really, really good friends. But the catch is, Penny has always had this major crush on a family friend. That family friend being the guy, the really, really good looking guy that wants to be a doctor but works for his mother's billion-dollar company. So, by the way, his name is Derek. So Penny is obsessed with Derek, secretly though, because she is wealthy and a beautiful girl as well, so she has a lot of pride, and she doesn't really like to talk about the fact that she's in love with this man named Derek, and he doesn't even know who she is. They've met at like family gatherings, dinners, once upon a time, but he doesn't talk to her. He doesn't really talk to anyone. Derek's mom actually thinks that he might be gay because he just doesn't have girlfriends ever, and she's tried to hook him up with multiple girls from wealthy families, of course, and he's pretty much rejected all of them. And one day Derek's mom goes into the dessert shop that Tia works at, the poor girl, and she comes up with an idea of, what if I send somebody, kind of like a spy, to just like watch over my son, right? Like, I'll just send this girl, this nice, sweet looking girl who looks like she's probably good at reporting stuff, and she clearly needs help because the mom somehow found out about Tia just owing a lot of student debt. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to offer you a lot of money. I will pay you $100,000 just for 1 year. 1 year, just spy over my son. Like, just report back to me, text me everything that happens. All these girls that he goes on dates with, that I send him to go on those dates with, like what happens, what is he like what is going on, does he have a secret boyfriend of some sort? And of course Tia is not going to pass up on this because she doesn't want to take money from her best friend Penny, and she wants to like work for herself. So Tia agrees to this. She actually gets $50,000 straight into her bank account, wired right away, because Derek's mom's like super rich. To her, that's like nothing. So Derek's mom's like, okay, first you get the $50,000, go and start the work, and by the end of this year, after you do your job, you get the other $50,000. So it'll be, again, $100,000 in total for spying on her son, because she just really wants her son to be happy, and she feels like, even though he seems like he has everything, the mom just doesn't feel like he's truly happy, right? Even despite her trying to set him up with a wife and hopefully have kids one day, and so she could be a grandmother. Like, she's just trying to make sure that everything happens in the way that she wants to. Okay, so how do they do this? How is Tia going to get into the life of Derek? Well, the mother planned it out really well. She told Derek she wants him to be more on the floor, right? Like, not just work in the office in the headquarters, and really just watch over the employees that work at these dessert shops and see what they can improve on. So basically, Derek's mom asked him to be like a secret shopper. So Derek then goes off to the nearby dessert shop where Tia works at, and he has to start conversing with her. He has to talk to her and see how she greets her customers. So basically he then starts to become this, you know, everyday customer. He's supposed to go like once every 2 or 3 days, but then he starts to get to know Tia. Derek starts to fall for Tia a bit, and he starts showing up like 2 times a day. 2 times a day, every day. And guess who finds out? Penelope, the rich girl, the best friend of Tia. So at this point, Derek is like secretly falling in love with Tia. She has no idea. She's just thinking he's way out of my league. There's no way that he would ever fall for her. And she's not thinking anything. She's just doing her job, reporting back to the mom secretly, and nobody knows about this. So when Penny found out, she just thought it was a coincidence that he started to obviously go to the nearby dessert shop, and she doesn't know that he's trying to be a secret shopper. She doesn't know anything, but she goes there to visit her best friend, Tia, and so she's seeing this gorgeous guy that she's been madly in love with all this time. So she starts showing up to the shop as well, very often. But Tia doesn't just work there at a dessert shop by herself. There's other employees. Yet every time Penny comes, she's realizing that Derek's mostly just talking to Tia. Like if he needs a cup of coffee, if he needs a piece of cake, anything, ordering some muffins to go for the office, like he's just gonna talk to Tia. He pretty much ignores all other female employees that just stare at him all day long. So Penny gets jealous, and Penny asks Tia to go out one night, just dinner, the 2 of them, and Penny asks Tia straight up, do you like the CEO? Do you like Derek? Do you like this guy who comes to your shop all the time? And of course, Tia answers, no, I don't like him. I could never, somebody like that, somebody at that level would never fall for someone like me. I would never dream of it, is what Tia says. And so Penny feels as cool as a cucumber, and she's like, all right, my friend doesn't think that she has a chance. She doesn't know that I'm absolutely obsessed with this guy, so I could just ask her to help set me up with Derek. So of course, a Penny starts to plot, right? She's really, really wealthy. She could really do anything. So it's her birthday next month, and she's like, you know what? I could just throw a birthday party on a yacht, invite everyone, including Derek, invite everybody, all the employees at that pastry shop that she's now going to often because Derek's there all the time. And she's like, I could just throw a birthday party and get everybody on the yacht, and we could go to an island somewhere where her daddy will swipe the credit card and everyone can stay in a hotel together, and she can then figure out ways to spend time with Derek. So of course, Derek says yes to the entire trip because Tia's going. Tia's going because Penny's her best friend. But when the tiger mom finds out that this is all happening, she then learns about Penny and Penny's obsession with her son, Derek. But Penny comes from a very wealthy family. So Derek's mom's like, perfect. Derek's mom then just straight up sends $50,000, the rest of the half, to Tia, and is like, okay, we don't need you anymore because now I'm gonna have your best friend Penny just chase after my son. That's what I want. It's actually great that through you, thanks to you, I figured out who my son should actually be with. And it hasn't even been a year, so of course Tia's super grateful. Thanks, Derek's mom. And even though she's a little bit sad that she won't really be able to see Derek anymore because the mom's gonna tell him not to show up as like a secret shopper anymore, Tia was still very happy for her best friend Penny. And I don't know how the story ends because I dreamt all of this last night. So then everything I just said to you guys, I dreamed it. Probably because I watch way too much K-dramas and just reality TV shows and dramas in general. But when I dreamed it, I didn't have any names, so I literally made up all the names and the jobs, but that's pretty much the gist of it. And I kind of just played around with the story, the yacht part, but everything else, it was in my dream. It's like I dreamed a little K-drama in my head. Anyways, if you like the story, let me know down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.